So here's what you'll need to brown the meat. You're going to need some oil. I use peanut oil. Some salt, some pepper, some cumin, a heavy pot with some oil in it. And I'm using 2 pounds of beef stew meat. You can use pork if you like. Don't use ground beef. Don't use steak. And you're going to use a teaspoon of each. The cumin, black pepper, and salt. After you add the meat. I'm waiting right now for the oil to get hot. And you want to make sure the oil is hot before you add the meat. The main base of our sauce uses Guajillo peppers. And I saved some dried habaneros from my garden last year. People wonder, where do you get the seeds to plant those peppers? Well, you can get them out of the pods, I guess. We'll try it next year and see what happens. Once the oil's hot, we're going to add the meat. There, Tiki. I like to get a little color on my meat before I add spices. Yeah, 1 tablespoon. 1 teaspoon, I'm sorry. 1 teaspoon. Now the pepper, I'm going to have to put you down for a minute. Well, 35 cranks of the pepper grinder and pepper's in there. Some people like to use onion powder and garlic powder. Unfriend those people. Use real garlic. Use real onions. Alright, add your onions and garlic, not powder, onions and garlic to the meat and stir. I'm going to have to put you down again. Alright, we're going to let this go for a while. And since this is the cheapest range you can buy, I'm going to have to put a lid on it for a few minutes for it to have any kind of temperature. So while you're browning your meat, get a saucepan with 1.5 quarts of water in it. Get that to a boil. Can you smell that? Bailey can smell it. Tiki can smell it. That's just natural juices. I haven't added anything to it. Now, if you weren't worried about making a vegetarian sauce, you could strain some of that off and use it when you make pepper sauce. I'm just using water. Alright, the liquid is almost evaporated. And you want to keep this on high heat. And you want it to brown a little bit. And it's getting cooked now. And it's a stew meat, so it takes forever for it to cook. Well, maybe forever is an exaggeration. Might as well be. Oh boy, can you smell that? Take out a piece and treat yourself. This is the point where you would add salt if you wanted it saltier. Don't worry about it being spicy yet. Can you see the crust at the bottom of the pan right there? That's what you want. But it's not there yet. You want to see brown edges on the sides. Keep it stirring. You don't want it to burn, but you want that crust on the bottom. See it building up right there? The sauce will break that down. I don't know why people do that. Now look down there, that's a good crust. Alright, so turn off the heat. Take out a small sample piece. And then cover it while we wait for our sauce. Chilies have 15 more minutes to go. Once you got your heat back into the meat, add your sauce. Give it a stir. Now turn your heat down to very low. Alright, at this point we just let it simmer for at least an hour. At least an hour. I'm going to add about 2 cups of water to this. And I'm going to stir in the water. It's nicely stirred in. And then here, you want to taste? Oh, that's going to be good. Now we wait for an hour. I turned up the heat to get it to be up to a boil. As soon as you see bubbles popping up, turn it back to simmer. And simmer it for at least an hour. And then once this is made, I'll show you what you can do with it. Alright, it's bubbling. We'll turn it down and let it simmer. It's barely on. You want to come stir this every 10 minutes or so. Put the lid on it and let it simmer. We'll give it some more time. Oh, there we go. An hour. At least an hour. There we go. So there it is after an hour of simmering. Hello, Cooper. Bailey. Claypool. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. So at this point, take the lid off. Let it reduce a little bit. Can you smell that? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So not too long ago, I was introduced to what I call sweet chili and peanut butter sandwiches together. Kind of like a grilled cheese and tomato soup, but not quite. And I discussed with that person that most chilies are sweet, and that's with tomatoes. And there's red chili and green chili, which I've made. And then there's this stuff called white chili with navy beans and chicken. Yeah, you don't want that. So anyway, if you've ever heard of canned type chili with peanut butter sandwiches, leave a comment. Tell me it's really a thing that you like. Once that reduces, we're going to add some diced potatoes. These are cooked already, and then I diced them. And if you do this, you can have them for breakfast for whatever you don't use, as long as you keep them in the water. Then we're also going to make some Spanish rice with the green onions, some rice, and some of the Guajillo sauce. Now we're going to add these diced potatoes at the very end of the cooking and just heat them up. We don't want to cook them anymore. We don't want them to fall apart. These have already been boiled and peeled, and they can stay in this water for a day, sometimes 2 days. So I want you to see the difference in the color of the sauce. That's cooked and simmered, and that's just the hydrated and blended sauce. And some people use this and they go through a strainer first. But I kind of like it pulpy. You can do it however you like. And if you think this is too hot, or you know it's going to be too hot and spicy, you can always, when you hydrate your peppers, you can always throw in 3 or 4 tomatoes. And that'll give it a little sweetness. But that's not what I'm making. But you could. Alright, our sauce is reduced down a little bit. It's time to add the potatoes. Yeah, why not? Now you're not trying to cook these potatoes, they're already cooked. If you cook them too long, it'll get soft and fall apart. And that's not what you want. You could also put beans in here if you don't want to put potatoes in. But this is supposed to be like a stew. So we'll let this come up to temp for about 15 minutes. And I'll serve it with some of the rice. And maybe some refried beans. I don't know about that. I didn't make them from scratch. So anyway, Chile Colorado. Alright, there we go. Potatoes are all warmed up. It's ready to serve. And there we go, ready to eat. There's potatoes and the beef, and the chili sauce, and the red rice. Alright, thank you. I hope you enjoyed it.